Hey guys, and welcome back to Magic City Morphs. Today we're going to be doing a hot topic video. You know, those are the videos that we do in between our breeding update. Joining me also is Ren today. She is getting close to being 11 months old, you guys. April 19th, she'll be 11 months old, so she's so close to being a year old. Can't believe how she's grown so fast. It's like she just now pulled up to stand last night. So she is on her way to like standing on her own and starting to walk. It's insane. But you may hear her, you know, she's talking now. She's saying a lot of words now, quite a few of them. So she may talk throughout the video, but that's totally fine. But you know, I thought today we could kind of talk about the relationship or the wall that's kind of always there between breeders and keepers, and I really don't think that it has to be there. Now, this is a lot of times because within the reptile community in general, you know, breeders and keepers often disagree when it comes to how they keep their snakes. Like, you know, we've got some racks behind us, and that's where our ball pythons stay. And there's a lot of keepers that are very, very much against racks. And you've even heard me talk about racks in other controversial videos before because it's a huge thing. And a lot of people will label you a bad person or a bad keeper if you keep your ball pythons in racks. Now, I have seen keepers now saying a lot of the time that they understand keeping baby ball pythons in hatchling racks until they're sold. But they believe wholeheartedly that adult ball pythons like this guy right here should be in terrariums, vivariums of at least 40 gallons, preferably a 4x2 foot enclosure. And, you know, that's the thing. You know, they're worried about enrichment. They're worried about the snakes not having enough space. They think that we're all using a really, really tiny tub for our adults, and that's not true. There are different size tubs for adult ball pythons, juvenile ball pythons, even hatchling ball pythons. And so that's something at Magic City Morphs that we make sure of. We make sure that we're using the right size tubs for our adults. Whether we're keeping them or not, you know, whether we plan to keep them for a long time or retire them from breeding and work on a different project one day. But, you know, if realistically we would love to have all of our adults like this guy that we're keeping in 4x2 foot enclosures. It would be amazing. But we simply don't have the room for that right now where we are. And a lot of breeders will also tell you that the convenience with racks is that you're able to streamline, keep a higher number of snakes, and it's easier to keep things clean. It's easier to give them, you know, what they need, and keep track of humidity, make sure they're shedding okay, all of those things. So, you know, there's also the argument that ball pythons need UV light, like bearded dragons and some of the other reptiles do. And, you know, that's always going to be an argument. And I do believe that bioactive enclosures are awesome. I do believe they're more naturalistic. I do believe, obviously, that snakes have more room in vivariums, terrariums, not or compared to racks. But I do think that they can be content in racks if their tub is the right size, because we've had several ball pythons that would not eat unless we moved them to a tub environment. So it actually helped get them on food. You know, there's always going to be that argument. You know, you're never going to get away from people having an opinion. But one thing I will say, I do like being small-scale breeders because it allows us to have our, technically, facility in our house. You know, we don't have employees. We don't do anything like that. It's just my husband and I. So, but yeah, you know, I do love the fact that we're a small-scale breeder, because that does mean that we have the time and the available space to take these snakes out of the racks and give them some enrichment and handle them and, you know, just give them some outside time. A lot of large-scale breeders aren't able to do that unless their employees, you know, have the time to go around and take the snakes out and everything. But, you know, that's something I'm not gonna knock large-scale breeders either, because, you know, that might be your dream. You might want to have a warehouse of snakes where you breed snakes and that's your job, that's your full-time business, and that's totally okay. So, it really depends on what you want to do, but I do think that we can reach an agreement. We can reach common ground if we talk about things more and we understand things more, rather than just plain out calling names. Because if you're flat out against racks altogether, you're not going to reach anybody in the breeding community. And then if you're on the breeding side and you totally prefer racks over enclosures, you're not going to reach anybody on the keeping side either. So I think it's really important, to try and come together a little bit more, not really have things be so one-sided, because we're all going to the reptile shows at the end of the day, whether you're vending, whether you're going to just go and see everything and buy something. Even if you're a brilliant keeper and you don't use racks, you're still spending money at the reptile shows. So in that, I think that we need to do a better job as a whole and coming together and really supporting each other. And what's going on with Brian Barczyk and his family, that's a great example. Everybody's coming together, everybody is focusing on what matters, and that's supporting Brian and his family, because he is a pioneer within the reptile community. And whether you're a keeper, whether you're a breeder, we need to support each other, because we need each other. We're all each other has, because we're against everybody else pretty much. We have so many people that aren't in the reptile community that don't understand what we do and why we do it and why we care about these animals so much. So I think everybody coming out and supporting Brian during this time of need is just a great testament to what the reptile community can do. It's just mind-blowing what we can do when we all come together and support one another. Thanks guys for watching this week's Hot Topic video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram. Our name is @magic_city_morphs, and we are on TikTok. We are @MagicCityMorphs on TikTok, and you can find us on Facebook. We are Magic City Morphs on Facebook. We'll see you next time.